Action. What's up, guys? It's Paul Salazar. This is our second roundtable with Paul Salazar Group. We have
Michael Joseph,
MJ, and we got
Kyle Amakuchi.
And it's me, Paul. And we're going to be talking about some different areas. So if you're a buyer looking to buy in LA, you've never been in LA, or maybe you know LA a little bit, we're going to be talking about some different areas that you may be interested in and why it's the right fit. So we're going to have a little debate here. We're going to talk about the Valley, 818, versus the Westside, 310.
And this is for families, though.
So this is for a buyer profile for families. We're going to have a debate. These guys are going to be 818. I'm going to be 310. So let's...
it's over. It's over. You can go home now, Paul.
All right, let's go. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, like button, leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and feel free to reach out to us. I am at Paul Salazar Group on Instagram. You are...
At mjosephscc on Instagram.
And my name, Kyle Amakuchi.
All right, well, let's get right into it.
What do you say? Studio City, Burbank, maybe a little bit, and
I mean,
Sherman Oaks.
I don't know why you bring Burbank, but I'll take Burbank. I also put Sherman Oaks, Encino, Studio City, Universal City,
Toluca Lake.
Lake. I mean, Toluca Lake is
Valley Village.
I guess you could have the argument.
No, we're setting the dynamic of who we're talking for.
Yes.
Okay,
so we got Toluca Lake, we got Burbank, we got Valley
Universal
Glen,
City, Valley Village, Valley
Studio
Glen,
City,
Encino. Even going like now, I think we could even include Tarzana.
Yeah,
we could. We have a great listing out there for.
We do.
I mean, listen. I'd say if we were having this discussion 3-4 years ago, there's no way we'd be able to include Tarzana. And if you go back 10 years, if you said you were moving to the Valley, people would say you're batshit crazy.
Yeah. Before we start, we always have a drink here. So we're going to have some Buchanan's. We'll let the strong guy open it up because I can't do it.
You just put this.
Now it's on you to open it, Kyle. If you can't open it,
let's go.
You're going to make the Valley look weak.
That's very true. Because he is repping the Valley.
Stand for the Valley, Kyle.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Look at that Valley opening.
Look at that.
Oh, that's real. I've never had something like that.
Right. Cheers to the Paul Salazar Group. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. Oh, wait. We talked about the Valley. Let's talk about 310, the West Side.
What are you representing?
If you're a family. I am representing Brentwood. Okay. I'm representing Palisades. I'm representing Santa Monica and Mar Vista.
Mar Vista?
Because Mar Vista is a family area. Okay, so those 4 areas.
Question though, would you throw Bel Air in on that?
Not for this discussion, but yes. I mean, you could throw in Bel Air, you could throw in Beverly Hills as well, Cheviot Hills. I mean, there's a lot of different areas. But for now, for this discussion only, we're doing Westside 310.
And that's
and we're doing kind of like the immediate Valley right over the hill.
Let's rock and roll.
All right, so
what's the first one we want to start off with? Apples and apples? What are we arguing?
I think I would like to make an opening statement on behalf of the Valley.
All right, let's go. I want to hear it.
I would like to make an opening statement to all of you on behalf of the 818. The 818 has gone through hard times. 10 years ago, if you said you were from 818, people would have given you a dirty look. And now those same people that would give you a dirty look are like, wow, you got in at a great time in a great place.
Yeah.
Because listen to this. 10 years ago, the Valley was frowned upon. Yeah. And nowadays, I call it millennial Bel Air. You have the 20-somethings, the 30-somethings literally flocking there because they want land value.
Yeah.
They don't want a little tiny parcel of land. Yeah. They want the whole thing.
It's primed with good development opportunities. It's primed.
I mean, it's
large
insane.
Lots.
And that's why what I'm saying is
views,
like even
good schools.
I mean, Wonderland School District,
Lanai and Encino.
I mean, literally, you have people moving there, not just for the schools as well, as you just said, and it's more affordable. What I think it's 20% less than the West Side.
20 to 30%, just kind of depending on the
and if you're spending $3 million on a house, you can get a beautiful house in the hills in Studio City or Sherman Oaks or Encino for 20% less just by moving a mile over, and instead of looking towards the west side,
you look
towards the valley. You still get the lights,
and
you get the
mountains. Yeah.
And this winter we saw these mountains even got snow-capped.
Yeah.
Like you had snow-capped
They're
mountains.
still snow-capped right now, and it's May.
All right, this is gonna be hard to beat. All right, so let's talk about the west side.
And we gave you a break on that opening.
Let's talk about the west side. If you have no money to spare, and you want the best of the best for family living, location, activities, good schools in certain areas. I can't say that every part of the west side has good school districts. Santa Monica, for sure, it's its own city, has really good school districts. But you have the beach, you have the restaurants, you have the location, right? So
I mean, you do have the restaurants, but I mean, if you're talking sushi, you can't touch the valley.
You can't touch Ventura Boulevard sushi.
Ventura Boulevard sushi.
All right, that's true, but
We got more Michelin stars than the west side.
But do you want to have sushi with the view to the ocean, or do you want to have sushi with the view to Ventura Boulevard?
I mean, sometimes they create some great oases. And here's the thing, and the other thing is that you have to think about is, like you said, money though, because you could go to Nobu and you could spend $1 million on a sushi meal. $1 million on a sushi meal.
What?
Or you could go.
Let's
not $1 million.
Come on, let's not exaggerate.
All right,
come on.
Okay,
I mean, we should have a judge over here, man.
I feel like I'm just close enough. I'm like, wait,
if you go,
ring a little bell.
If you go to Nobu, your bill
or something.
Your bill for a decent sized meal is probably going to be $700 to $800.
It's a lot. I agree.
And you could go to the valley and have such better fish.
Okay, so we got sushi. The valley wins 1-0.
0-1 valley.
0-1 valley.
Yes.
Okay, but for the west side, we have an array of different restaurants. Good Mexican food, good steakhouses.
Steakhouses, I'll give you. I'll give you steakhouses.
For sure.
We can't touch you in steakhouses.
And we got Malibu just down the road. It's really, really close. So if you want to go to Nobu, you want to hit up Mastro's, the Ocean Club restaurant there on PCH.
They're great out.
And on top of that, the weather is so much cooler in the 310 West Side area.
That's if you could enjoy the pool in the backyard, which is a lot more expensive than building a pool out where we are.
That's true.
And we get the heat, which is nice. The heat is fantastic in the valley.
The heat is nice. It is nice.
And the lots are bigger, so you can have more opportunity to swim.
That's true, because
that's a hard push.
Well, no. I mean, it's true because listen. I'm going to be honest. I live in the west side, and the one thing I hate about living in the west side is the marine layer. And it's here for like 2 months. And it's here from like basically now, like in May, all the way through June. So a lot of the days we have cloud coverage, it's cold. You go to the valley, it's sunny, it's 80, it's beautiful. So that's why
sunbathing, of it.
I'm not being a good advocate right now of the west side. I'm just being honest.
Well, they're both great spots to live.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is all for the purpose of debate, but I mean, listen. There's few things in the world that are better as a Californian than driving down the PCH. I mean,
agreed.
It's one of the reasons people come to visit here so they could rent a convertible and drive with the top down the PCH.
All right, well let's talk about family, right? You're a family. You're coming from the East Coast or from wherever, and you're looking at either I can spend a lot less or get a bigger house for the same price point. Let's just say your price point is $5 million. Okay. Right? In Encino, Sherman Oaks, Studio City, you get a big house, 4,000 to 6,000 square feet.
Not only that, but for $5 million, you'll also get a house.
You get a lot.
But you can get a house that also hasn't been 100% finished yet, where if you're coming from the East Coast, you have the opportunity to put your finishing touches on it. Or if you are buying a house,
there's a lot more development opportunity.
You could also
in that
develop your house as well, because, if you're spending $5 million, you could get a great house for $4 million. Still have $1 million to put renovations into it.
Yeah, that's true. But so in the west side, you're limited in that $5 million range. Listen, you can still get a nice house for $5 million.
Stunning house.
Anywhere in Brentwood, Palisades, and Santa Monica. You may not get the land and the square footage.
The amount of choices to choose from.
Yes, correct.
The inventory around $5 million is going to be a lot lower than it is in the valley area.
And it may not have views. Same lot size.
Yeah, I would say 9 times out of 10 on the west side, it's not going to have any views.
And it depends because, for example, Brentwood is broken down very much into different areas.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're looking for like a smaller house in downtown Brentwood area, you may be fine. But again, if you're looking for something over by Carmelina or
Up in the hills,
up in the hills, or on like the flat, like I call them the flats of Brentwood as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like north of Sunset, like Rockingham.
By the country club, by the Brentwood Country Club.
Got it. Okay.
If you're looking over there, then
Those are massive lots. I mean
you're
those are
looking,
$10 to $30 million houses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, again, if money isn't an issue, if I had to buy tomorrow, I would live on the flats in Brentwood.
If money isn't the issue, we are saying there's no debate. You live in the West Side.
Absolutely.
What did he say?
I don't know about that. No, I think I like the Valley a lot.
Oh, am I trading?
I was gonna say,
I like it. I got it.
The best part is how you actually tried to be like, oh yeah, everyone's cool, we all agree. You just tried to pull the rug out from under us.
No.
He did.
No, listen. No, but hear me out. If I had $100 million to spend on a house, I would get a beautiful house in Brentwood.
But we're not arguing that. If we had $100 million, yes, you'd have a nicer house in Brentwood because $100 million can go as far as you want anywhere, but as far as you want anywhere in Brentwood is fantastic versus what the Valley would be.
Actually,
just slightly less than fantastic.
But actually, just to say, sort of like Paul went to the Valley for a second, I'll say this on behalf of Brentwood. For me, being Jewish American is a big thing.
You're Jewish?
I am Jewish.
I don't know that.
And, no, but, that was a joke. No, but for real, there's great synagogues. There's great ways for Jewish lifestyle. Not only in the Valley, but in Brentwood as well. I was going to say Brentwood.
I think all over LA.
All over LA, you have that community.
For sure, which is nice.
But I'm saying, like, some of the really nice synagogues in LA are in the Brentwood area.
Well, let's talk
for
about
me,
this
that's
too.
why I would.
Yeah.
There's a joke that I heard before moving to LA that if you're on the east side of the 405, you're not going to hang out with anyone on the west side of the 405, right?
Yeah, crossing the 405 is
crossing
not...
the 405
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
But it also happens on the flip side that if you're living on the west side, if you're living in Santa Monica, how often do you come to explore the rest of what Los Angeles has to offer? Right, there's downtown Los Angeles that's going to be a lot more easily attainable from someone who's living in the Valley.
That's a good point.
There's also Big Bear that's a lot closer. There's West Hollywood, that nightlife aspect of it, and then you have the Valley, which has its own things to offer. Where it's slower.
It's slower. I think that's a good point.
Yes.
The lifestyle is slower. It feels a lot more relaxed. Being in Brentwood, Palisades, Santa Monica, you feel like you're congested.
You're next to the
That's
studios.
A good point. That's
you're
a good point.
next to the entertainment. You're next to everything that really LA has to offer. And you know what's fantastic? You have Burbank Airport.
Yep.
That's right there too.
And Van Nuys Airport if you're
making something
making some money
with a private jet.
Yes, Van Nuys Airport being like the biggest airport for private jets
in the country.
In the country,
it's definitely the biggest in California.
Okay.
It was until I have to look at the facts, but I believe there's one up in
probably New York or something.
No, in
San Francisco.
In San Francisco by
Silicon Valley
that has people flying in and out hourly, but. What I like off of what Kyle was saying, what I love about the Valley that I say, it's like my favorite saying about the Valley, is the Valley is close enough to everything, well, far enough away from everything. So I could go to the office in Beverly Hills and I'm in the middle of the action, I'm in it, and then at the end of the day, I come back to the Valley where I could park for free.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Walk around, there's good food everywhere. There's good people. There's great bars. It's more suburban.
Yeah. It is.
It's very suburban.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It's a lot more suburban, even though the West Side isn't like urban by any means, but it feels a lot more urban compared to being
when you look at vacationers, right, and where they're coming to vacation, you don't see people coming to LA going, I want to go visit the Valley.
That's a good point. Tourism, right? Like if you're in the Valley, you're not going to get...
The only time they're going to the Valley...
That's a good point.
The only time they're going to the Valley is to go to Universal Studios. Other than that, they want to do the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They want to do the beach. This is not in the Valley.
Because over here in the summertime...
And I think that's part of the great part of it. Like if you look in New York,
It's like living
Locals
in
don't
Times
want to
Square.
live in Times Square.
Yeah.
If you look in LA, people don't want to live on 3rd Street Promenade. They don't want to live.
No, he's back. He's back. That was a good point.
Wait a minute.
That was
Wait
a
a
good
minute.
point.
Back on my team.
I like
I'm
it.
back, baby.
That was good.
No, they don't want to live on 3rd Street Promenade. They don't want to live on Hollywood Boulevard. They want to be where they could, be locals.
Yeah.
Where they don't have to be around people taking pictures 24/7. Now, I'm not saying that tourism is bad by any means, but when I'm looking about where I want to buy and where I want to lay my foundation,
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
I like the Valley.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good enough.
Especially if
Good
you
enough.
were to buy in the Valley in the last 5 to 10 years, there's nothing short of a skyrocket that's happening or has happened and continues to happen.
Yeah.
Everywhere, if you put money into a property in the Valley,
It's going up.
it's going up.
Yeah.
It's going up.
And there's construction, development,
ton of development.
And I would
And
love to look even at the time lapse of it, because I feel like, as we talked about at the beginning, it started with like the Studio City area. Toluca Lake first has always been hot because you have all the executives from Warner Brothers there as well, all the Warner execs, celebrities, things like that. But that's also, I'd say, Valley adjacent because it's sort of right there.
Yeah, it's right there for sure.
But then Studio City started hitting. And then it started inking its way over to Sherman Oaks, and I'm like telling people, yo, you hop on now.
Get on.
Here comes Encino, and now I'd even say
and there's Tarzana. Yeah,
Encino right now is on fire.
Yeah, it's
especially if
hot.
you're a pro athlete, if you're someone who wants space,
Yeah.
the greenery out there, the amount of money that you can spend in Encino and just be literally a 5-minute 405 drive, depending on the time of day. Not today.
Not today. In case you don't know, it took us an hour and a half to get to the West Side today. So
From the Valley. Yeah,
So
that's
a whole other conversation.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you. We're not.
Transition.
Yeah.
What side are you on?
Yes.
God damn it. Cheers, gents.
Cheers. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. We haven't talked about commute.
Commute's it's an asterisk though, because we don't know where people are living, we don't know what they're working for.
And it's also, do you know your way around LA? Because there's always side streets as we're going
well, let's
in
say
LA.
the baseline of what commuting is.
Yes.
Commuting, if you're working in a studio, you're a head studio exec, you're going to be in Los Feliz, you're going to be in Studio City, you're going to be in Toluca Lake.
Yeah.
I don't know how many studio execs, I can't speak personally, I'm not a studio exec, that are living in Brentwood that want to take the 405 to the 101 every morning and have to do something like that. Or even people that are C-level execs going up. That's just not something that's going to happen.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, we've seen, like, the exact example of proof, or so, shall we say, proof of that in Netflix. Netflix just went up in Hollywood. And during the pandemic, I swear to God,
they built 30,000 square feet of office space.
Not just office space, but of apartments, of leases, of condos. Like, that when Netflix went up there, people built around there. And when you're looking in the Valley, the Valley has 2 of the biggest studios in LA.
In the world.
They have CBS Radford in Studio City, and they have Warner. 2, and Universal. Right there. 3 of the biggest lots in the world.
Oh, he's coming out with the big punches right now, dude.
Right there.
I like it. I like it. I'm taking it. I'm taking it right now.
I mean, listen, if you want to be in Brentwood, great. You have Culver Studios. You may have Manhattan Beach Studios, Sony.
Yeah, you got Culver, you got the Sony Studios.
But again, if you're looking at the square footage of lot size and employee size, I mean, Universal, Warner, and CBS have it.
Let's talk about, so that's a good argument for sure if you're in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
100%, right?
Of course.
But I feel like a lot of these people that are at that level, another one, I like it.
For you guys, continue talking, continue going.
Is that's only for a select number of buyers, right? So it's not everybody. Let's talk about, jeez, you're just out of control over here. Just
things
swinging that thing like.
Well, you told me you got to shake it for it to come out because Kyle was a poor shaker.
Let's talk about LAX because I live in Marina Del Rey, and I love being 20 minutes away from LAX.
That is awesome.
That's a huge plus because I like to travel a lot.
Of course.
And people here in the West Side love to travel a lot and be.
Do you know how long it takes me to get to LAX?
An hour and a half, 2 hours.
Pretty much, 2 hours.
Yeah.
See,
unless we take a 6 a.m. flight, then it still takes.
I was about to say, I've been
Yeah.
smart when I travel now because of that commute. I like taking the red eye. I will leave at 11
But you're
p.m.
changing your flight around based on how far away you're from LA.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah.
No,
but
it's
also on the flip
different.
side, Burbank is the best airport in Southern.
Agreed.
It is.
Yeah. If you can fly out of Burbank,
If you
it's
can fly out of
small, it's
Burbank,
easy.
take it.
It's much better than LAX.
Also,
100%.
it's growing a little bit too. So they're going to start changing.
Expanding.
They're putting a lot of money into
Expanding
Burbank.
Burbank
Yeah,
Airport.
that makes
So,
sense.
which is fantastic. On a flip side, where it's like, oh, it's great because the airport that I use all the time is going to add more flights. You can kind of come in and come out more so than what's going on right now with the schedule. But also, what's that going to do to the amount of people flying in there and the traffic around those areas?
Yeah.
You know, it's just going to grow. But
I mean, that whole area is going to continue to grow. I mean, everywhere.
You can just see
everywhere.
The way the
Yeah.
way the house is laid out. It's industrial right now, and you can see it was an industrial town beforehand, but it's starting to chip away where everything around the industrial town is becoming these houses that were selling for $250,000 in like 2010 that are now selling for $750,000, $800,000, $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah, I was about to say they're going for $1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million.
Oh yeah.
You'd
A
be hard-pressed to find a single
starter
family.
home in the area, like north of the boulevard, which is Ventura Boulevard.
Yeah.
I mean, for a 3-2, 1,400 square feet is like $800,000 to $1 million.
And
That's on the low. That's if you're lucky.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
if you're
Probably
lucky.
850. A nice single family right now is 850 foot all day.
Yeah.
You know, so it's still $1 million to buy a single family house. You'd be hard pressed to find that on the west side.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a starter home that you can move into.
In the west side, in the
Yeah.
west side for a starter home,
You're looking at over
1.5 minimum for a house that needs work.
Yeah.
And that's a small house, 1,200 square feet.
two
and
three
that's
beds.
and that's only
one
in
bath.
Mar Vista
And
and Del Rey
Del Rey too.
and
yeah.
Culver, right? And maybe Westchester, like if you're going south,
Westchester's
towards
Westchester is
Palisades,
very
yeah.
nice. I like Westchester.
All right, so we got two good areas. If you're a family, if you're looking to buy in this area and you want more information, give us a call. Shoot us an email, reach out to us on Instagram. We've been living in these areas. I mean, I've been living in these areas for over 14 years, so I know the areas very well. I know you guys have as well.
Yeah.
So, it's important to understand what your lifestyle is, what's important for you. So before you start looking in a specific area, I think the best thing that I recommend as a real estate agent is having a buyer consultation with one of us so that we can outline based on what you like, what your lifestyle is, how many kids you have, what grade they're in, what area is best for you based on where you work at, again, and
Just
your
routine,
lifestyle choices.
lifestyle,
Exactly.
routine,
Yeah.
gyms,
It would-
everything.
Yeah.
The thing is, we want to work with you and we want to customize so we can hear you and we want to hear what's
Yeah.
important to you.
Yeah.
We want to know exactly what that is because when we do our search, we also do a lot of our business off market and we have access to things that you'll never see. So we want to work with you so we can find the right home for you because as much as Kyle and I love the Valley and Paul loves the West Side in this model, we love LA. We've been here for combined
We love LA. Yeah.
LA
30
is
years,
great.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, we love
40
LA.
years between us,
Yeah.
bro, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at
But
the
yeah,
end of
either
the
way,
day,
I mean-
we want to work for you, and we want you to get what you want. And if you're looking for your dream home, I think that we're the crew to find it
For sure. For sure.
Also, let us know what you think in the comments. West
Yes,
side of the valley.
yes, for sure. I think that was a good debate. We covered schools. I mean, there's good schools in both areas. I would say Santa Monica for sure has better school districts in general compared to LA USD, but that's just the city of Santa Monica.
Yeah, but I mean, then you look at some of these like smaller
Public
schools,
and studios.
public schools, and
There
studio
are. And
there are
also
people
in
that
Encino.
literally move to LA.
100%. Same over here
Just for that.
in the West Side
Yes.
because you still have Brentwood. There's certain areas of Brentwood that are part of Paul Revere Middle School.
PV. Yep.
Pacific Palisades has really good schools.
Yep.
So people love going there. Free schools, public schools that are really, really good.
Of course.
Yeah. Pali High is like one of the best high schools in the West Side, right? So if you don't want to spend 40, 50, 60 grand for your kids to go to junior high and high school, like these are some areas that like you may want to look at.
And if you do want to spend 40, 50, 60 grand, we have Harvard Westlake.
You do, and that's actually really close to the valley. I think that's
It's in
also
the
good.
valley.
That's,
It's
yeah,
all water.
That's also a really good point, right? Like that's a very, very popular school.
I mean, it's one of those schools where people literally move from out of country
To
have their kids go to Harvard Westlake.
For sure.
And they also, I know that they do great philanthropic work, so scholarships are available there.
Yeah.
I've seen them do it. But I mean, they have a beautiful sort of, I'd say, lower school that's sort of up in the hills, sort of on the other side, but their main campus is right there.
It's right there off of
Coldwater
yeah.
and Ventura, basically.
Yeah. Good location, like right in the middle of kind of everything.
Everything.
Again, let us know in the comments down below, like what you think. You know, what would you pick? 818 Valley, and like not like the Valley, like far north. We're just talking about just over the hill, right? Encino, Sherman Oaks, Tarzana, Studio City, Toluca Lake, Universal City, Valley Village. I think I covered that.
Valley Village is right.
Valley Village is
it's like in Studio City.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on the edge of it.
And then we said Westside, right? Palisades, Brentwood, Santa Monica, Mar Vista. We didn't cover other areas that are good for family, like
Calabasas, even.
Calabasas.
But that's deeper valley.
Yeah, that's like Canal Valley. But we also haven't talked about like Beverly Hills, Bel Air, Cheviot Hills, Hancock Park.
This was just the first of many debates.
Yeah, this is the first, but this is a good debate. I really enjoyed it.
I just got to decide what side I'm on now.
You neutral the whole time.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm neutral.
Yeah.
I like it all.
This mother, he comes into Sweden like halfway through.
Yeah,
I'm Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Let us know in the comments down below who won the debate. Is it 310 or is it 818? Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
See you next time, guys.